Hi, this is Abby from Witchcraft and Criminal History. How you doing today? Good, that's good. Well, I'm going to continue with these little scary stories. Because I've got plenty of them being what I am. But this one's not really about me, it's about my grandfather. Both my grandparents worked for the military during World War II. My grandfather was a desert rat, and my grandmother was Batwoman. Now, the Cape Crusader, a Batwoman. Batwomen or Batmen were pretty much cleaners, servants, or something like that for generals or people high up in the military. That's what their job was to support, generals and that. So that's what my grandmother did. My grandfather was a desert rat. He was a sparky, or electrician. He was an electrician for the desert rats. And I know he served in Rome during the war, and I think he probably would have served some desert rats more predominant in Africa. I wouldn't put it past it that he also served in Africa during World War II. I sadly don't really know too much about his time during the war, mainly because he died when I was 2, so I couldn't ask him directly. So I never knew my grandfather. And it was a taboo subject with my grandmother. My grandmother refused to talk about anything about the war in regards to my grandfather. She wouldn't speak of him. Which is sad because a lot of history which my grandmother had pretty much died with her. Which is sad because I would like to learn more about my grandfather. But anyway, while my grandfather during World War II was serving in the military, there's a rest with the army, so he was in the army. He was serving in one of these old chateaus. I think you call them chateaus. I know that's how you call them in France. But Italy, I'm not quite sure. But we call it chateaus. And this place was commandeered for the British Army, for the British forces. And it just seemed to be an ordinary house, which they were just staying in during the war, before they had to move on to their next post. My grandfather, who also was sensitive, never felt comfortable in the chateau. And every single night, he would hear the music of a piano playing. You guys probably thinking, oh, if the military are there in this chateau, there's probably a piano somewhere, and no, they want soldiers are playing the piano. Yeah, it's quite logical. That makes perfect sense. However, because of the war, the chateau was pretty much gutted. There was no furniture and there was no pianos. There was nothing there, but yet my grandfather could hear a piano being played. And every single night, he would hear the piano play, he would get up and investigate it. Only to find nothing there. Nothing. Apart from probably some of his colleagues sleeping in the downstairs rooms. Nothing. These are tales what my grandfather relayed to my mother. So my grandfather definitely had the gift. He had the gift during the war. Which is kind of scary, and I inherited it. But anyway, We are what we are, and we are who we are. I have a lot of respect for my grandfather, and I really wish I knew him. Because he was definitely a great guy. Like, my grandmother got assaulted during the war. And back in those days, having a child out of wedlock is taboo. You're not allowed to do it. My grandfather didn't care about the shame. He didn't care about it. He was willing to lie and say that he was the father of her child, even though he wasn't. He begged my grandmother to keep the baby. But my grandmother didn't want to embarrass him. So she went up to Scotland, had the baby, and gave it up for adoption, and came back down to London as if nothing happened, and carried on with life like it never ever happened. Mind how things changed. But just to do that, especially at those times, that show how great a guy my grandfather was. And it's sad that I never knew him. Well, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.